What is up, everybody? It is Monday, and the new announcement from Civilization just came out on Twitter. Civilization just announced 2 new civilizations that'll be added to the game later this month: the Byzantiums and the Gaul. The Gaul? Did I get that right? Gaul. They also released a new video about the new game mode and the new wonders that they're going to add to the game, and let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what they announced. We have the new Byzantium Empire. They are focused on conquest, either militarily or religiously. Interesting that they say that. That either leaves 2 options. One, there's a unique faith unit that can conquer or help conquer cities with loyalty, or just maybe just it kills everything. Or 2, it's a unique military unit that is purchased with faith, and there's a little bit more on that theory later. I'll get back to that. Then you have the Gaul. They have bonuses to culture and production, and if you can see in the video here, when they plant a mine, they get even +1 culture for the mine, and it looks like this is on copper, so something to note. Maybe when they plant a mine on a bonus resource, or even when they just plant a mine on a resource in general, they get a culture bomb, similar to Australia putting a plantation on a cow or horse, and similar to also to the Maori planting fishing boats on fishing resources. If we take a little further look at the Gaul, we can see that there's a workshop being built in this particular city, but if we look around the city, there's not an industrial zone in sight, which makes us believe that the new district for the Gaul is probably a replacement for the industrial zone, and obviously gives you the benefits of being able to shoot like the encampment and like your city walls. Then we have new world wonders. We have the Biosphere, which increases appeal for Marsh and Rainforest tiles. It boosts the power in Tourism Gathering Storm, and it gives you plus yields in other game modes. Not really sure what other game modes those are going to be, whether it's going to be the Dark Ages or the Dramatic Ages, or if it's going to be even just Apocalypse mode. Then you have the Statue of Zeus completing the 7 world wonders of the world. Grants you with free military units for cities that build it, and increases production for anti-cavalry units. We don't know if these increase in production is empire-wide. We are assuming that it is. It wouldn't make sense if it was just for one city. So having an empire-wide bonus to anti-cavalry units, really good for Shaka with his impies, really good for Sweden with their unique unit as well. Anyone that really has a unique anti-cavalry unit, this is going to be very powerful for. Also very powerful to counter Gran Colombia, because those Laneros are deadly. We also have a new map type. We have the Highlands map, which is a lot of hills and mountain ranges. It looks really good, honestly. There's not a lot of water, but there's still some water. Maybe not a lot of warfare, but if it is, it's gonna be super tight and super a lot of chokeholds with these mountains and hills. Something that Georgia can take advantage of with their unique swordman that gets bonuses on hills. Something that Ethiopia would get a kick out of for building all those cities on hills and getting the extra faith bonus from those. And Korea being able to plant all of their campuses, unique campuses all over the place with all of those hills, and being able to put mines surrounding it for giving it more adjacency bonuses. Oh my gosh, that map's gonna be wild. Then we have the new game mode, Dramatic Ages. This is kind of an extreme one. Something that Nystagmus introduced in the last podcast. They said that Firaxis likes to add chaos.
Have been adding more chaos to the game. Right?
True.
Everything has been adding more chaos to the game. So no shuffle mode, apocalypse mode, things like that. I'm wondering if they'll add like a game mode. I don't know what they would call it, but where, you know how you always advance in science and you get to a certain step, you can never go backwards? If they made it so you can go backwards, if like disasters would make you like lose
lose knowledge. That's interesting. That's interesting. So sort of like the Dark Ages.
So having something like Dramatic Ages, where if you get into a Dark Age, you have a chance to lose your city, and then back to back Dark Ages, you get to lose. You're going to lose a lot of your cities to revolting, and so this puts a really big emphasis on era score, something that Zoe is very good at, and something that he would probably be very good at in this game mode. And then they also specifically made changes to Georgia, being able to use both Golden Age and Dark Age cards. And whenever they are in a golden age, they get a bonus wildcard policy slot? Excuse me? What? They clearly want people to play Georgia, and so this is what they needed in order for people to play Georgia. F tier civ.
Did you say S tier?
Also in this game mode, instead of making dedications when you enter a new age, you instead get the policy cards. So that just leaves, you're able to interchange the things you can do in the Golden Ages and in Dark Ages. So if you want monumentality to build a bunch of settlers and workers, you do that, but then immediately you can switch that over to the religious one and get the plus movement and plus charges for your religious units. This is an incredible boost to players who enter Golden Ages because they can get those +4 great profit points until they get a religion, and then they can use it to just buy a bunch of missionaries, but then later change to then build builders or settlers with their faith. Oh my goodness, the possibilities for this thing. Also, the extra era score not going to waste anymore, but leading to increased loyalty pressure onto other civs. Cue Eleanor, your neighborhood friendly Eleanor, who wants to take your cities peacefully and smile in your face while she does it. This obviously is really good for her. The question is it still worth really overflowing that Golden Age points to get there? Maybe for her in particular, but then you risk getting into a Dark Age for the next era and you so risk losing some of your cities. So the big question is, do you go all out on one era with Eleanor, or just maybe go all out on one era for any civilization and take advantage as best as possible? Or do you space out your Golden Ages and still save up your era score? Very good question. So let's dive a little bit into who the possible leaders can be for the Byzantines and the Gaul. This is going to be a little bit interesting. Nystagmus is predicting that it's going to be Justinian the First. He is known as Justinian the Great, and he also restored the empire, as they like to say. Justinian would make a lot of sense because he was what made Byzantine known. He's what put them on the map. He's what separated the Romans from the Byzantines. However, I would like to challenge that because of the faith domination. So here we go. Cue in Basil II, the burglar slayer. He led campaigns through Eastern Europe, notably the Kingdom of Georgia, and took over the Kingdom of Georgia. Is that what it says? I can't tell. Basil led a campaign through the... Yeah, we're gonna stick with that. We're gonna stick with that. Most notably about Basil II, he established the Varangian Guard. Now these were personal bodyguards to the Byzantine emperors. The most notable thing about it is that it was made of foreign people. This was a deliberate policy to ensure that the loyalty of Byzantine citizens didn't revolt against their emperor. So when you get foreign people, they don't care to push around their local people, right? So what I'm thinking, if this unit exists and this is in fact the leader, the Basil II, this can be a unit that is purchased with faith, or it's acquired by capturing cities or by levying city-states. Now, since they were mainly recruited to suppress revolts, what I'm thinking is that if they are garrisoned in a captured city, it will either just increase the loyalty, or if they want to full send this thing, then they can say if it's garrisoned in a city, then it cannot be loyalty flipped. Now that would be a pretty big deal in civilization, especially since you can then capture cities halfway across the world and not worry about it being loyalty flipped. You then can produce units out of it, you can buy units out of it, and it becomes almost your outpost. So you can accumulate a lot of gold or accumulate a lot of faith. Once you capture one city, you buy a ton of your units, and then that becomes your outpost to then scatter all of your units across the world and dominate everybody. So this could be a very, very powerful unit, and that's my case for Basil II. Now, I don't know much about the Gauls, but I've been told that this guy, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this name, this guy might be the leader of the Gauls. In Socrates mod, even he is the leader for the Gauls. And so that would, I guess, make a lot of sense. We also don't know what the unique unit for the Gauls are gonna be, but they look like they're gonna be swordmen based off of this photo. Anyway, that's everything that this pack has. Those are my predictions as well for who the leaders are going to be. Let me know what you think in the comments. Who do you think is going to be the leader? What do you think the abilities are going to be for these civilizations and for these leaders? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more TheCivShow content. We have a we have a good series, Better Know a Leader. If you want to know more about the history, the true history of Civilization 6 leaders, go ahead and check that out. That is done by Nystagmus, and you can see that right over here. See you in the next one.